Hello everyone, welcome to my presentation, interview activity, communication, asking general questions on familiar topics such as home, family, work, studies, and interests. This is test part 1, supposed to take like between 4 and 5 minutes, presented by Lansuel Martinez Rocha, San Buenaventura University, Bogota, 2015. So, this is a job interview and we're going to ask you some questions. Even though this is a job interview, we may ask you some questions about your personal life and about the place where you come from. So let's talk about your hometown or village. What kind of place is it? Okay, the place where I come from an island actually, from St. Andrews Island. I really like this place because it's very sunny and I can practice my favorite hobby. My favorite hobby is swimming and sometimes jogging on the beach, and it's very nice to do that in St. Andrews Island, especially with this weather that we have there. And the weather, because the weather is always so hot and kind of dry sometimes. All right. Okay, so you live in an island. Yes, I do. But currently I'm living here in Bogota, and I really appreciate the city as well. I know some people may think of Bogota like it's not the best city, but I think of it as a nice place to live sometimes. And even though sometimes a little messy with traffic and stuff, I think is very nice. Okay. All right. So let's move on to one other play or another question. Okay, so let's move on to another question. What's the most interesting part of your town or village? Okay, in my case, my town, as I explained before, is an island. And the most interesting thing from this island is that it's surrounded by water. You can see different colors in the sea, and you can travel by boat, going other places. Okay, what else can you tell me about your hometown? Well, another thing that I like from my hometown is that I think the people are nice too. Maybe it's because of the sensation of living in an island. Maybe it's because of the sensation of living in a small place that makes people try to be more kindly and try to help each other sometimes, especially if they're from the same neighborhood or if you have known each other from several years. If you're acquainted for several years, then they will try to help you whenever you need some help. Okay, that's interesting. Let's move on to the other question. What kind of jobs do the people in your town or village do? Okay, there are several jobs in my place. Well, traditionally, most people used to dedicate to agriculture and to raising animals. But then, like after years 1950, things start to change a little bit. And some of them dedicate to commerce, some of them dedicate to exporting things, some of them try to manufacture things in their own enterprises or fabrics, and some of them do different activities. But can you explain some of these activities that you are describing that these people from your place do? Well, some of them, it just depends on what they're working on, or it just depends on what they have studied. Well, I have a couple of friends back home. Some of them are lawyers, some of them are architects, some of them are engineers. So I think most of them are just working in their field when they can get a job, and some of them work with the government, some of them work with other private enterprises or even enterprises overseas. Okay, that's interesting. Let's continue with the other questions. Would you say it's a good place to live and why? Well, I would say the place where I come from is a nice place to live because I like places which they are not that so much chaos and in which the traffic is not that a big issue and where you can get around, and even if you go to another neighborhood, people will know your name. I really appreciate the fact that most people are calm, most people are always trying to live a cool life, and I would really recommend this place for living. However, sometimes finding a job will not be that easy. So it all depends on what type of life do you want to live. Okay. All right. So let's move on to talk about accommodations. Tell me about the kind of accommodation you live in. Okay, so currently I'm living in a flat, in an apartment, and it's in the downtown of Bogota. I really like this place because it's kind of centered. I can head north, south, east, and west very easily, and I'm pretty close to the mountain, and which is a view I really appreciate as well because it's all green and nice, and it's a kind of break to your eyes whenever you see all this green mountain and all these trees that are so near the city, and it's kind of like the city lounge. Oh, okay. What else can you tell me about this place? Okay, where I'm living right now, I really appreciate the fact that I can go if I need a bank, I can find a bank nearby. If I need go to the grocery, I have groceries nearby. If I need go and do run some errands, I have a lot of offices nearby too of my need, and it's pretty close to my job. Okay, thank you. Let's move on to another questions. How long have you lived there? Well, in this flat in which I'm living right now that I have just described, I have been living here for almost 2 years now. Previously, I used to live in the north part of the city, but I think I got pretty tired of living there, so I'm living here in the center of the city. Well, it's not the city downtown, but it's kind of the center of the city because of the address in which I'm living. Okay. So let's ask you another question here. What do you like about living there? Well, as I mentioned before, I appreciate the fact that I have banks nearby, that I have offices nearby, and actually, I like the view of the mountain. Oh, you like the view of the mountain? Yes, I really appreciate the view of the mountain because, as I said before, is a kind of break to my eyes when I'm seeing city everywhere, asphalt everywhere, buildings everywhere, and suddenly you can just look to the east and you can see all this mountain, all this green, all these trees, and all these bushes. It makes you feel comfortable knowing that everything is not asphalt, everything is not buildings, everything are not cars. You can find something green too in the city. And again, well, if I need groceries, they're nearby. If I need a shopping mall, it's just I can find it nearby too. Whatever I need, I have it to hand. And also, transportation is pretty easy where I live. Okay, what sort of accommodation will you most like to live in? Well, I think I prefer houses. Even though I'm living in an apartment right now, I prefer living in a house. I think houses are more comfortable, and I would like a place that has a yard, maybe a backyard, maybe a place where I can just take my shoes off and walk on the grass, maybe a place where I can relax with my friends, maybe do a barbecue with my family. Those are the type of accommodations I would really appreciate. And I really don't like small places. The place where I'm living right now is kind of small, but I would really appreciate to have a bigger place, a place where I can have people come over and visit, and family members coming over as well, and a place to make a barbecue, maybe having a dog as well. Those are the type of accommodations I really appreciate. Okay. Okay, thank you for attending this interview. Have a nice day. We'll be calling you during the week before Friday, so please stay tuned to your phone. Thank you. Have a nice day. Goodbye. Okay, goodbye. Thank you for interviewing me. Goodbye. Have a nice day too. Thank you for viewing and listening to this presentation. Goodbye.